Yo, what's happening, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Saeed TV. We are live for the Mandem Talk. You know what it is, people, man. Mandem Talk Wednesdays. You know what I mean? We come here and we discuss football, man. As the Mandem, we got man like Tyrone in the building. Tyrone, what are you saying, my bro? You good?
Yeah, all good, man. Sorry, I'm the one holding up the stream, man. As always, I'm always late. You know, I'm more late than I'm on time. It's shocking, to be honest. New season, man. I should start better than this.
Nice, calm, but don't worry, man.
But big up now every single
late.
time. Thank
God
you for
bless.
having me, man. I think my connection, just so you know, Saeed, I think I'm delayed by a few seconds. So if you ask me something, I'll wait for you to come through because I'll know in it.
Say no more. Say no more. Look at it. Musa's already given the Wi-Fi issues to everyone, man. It's crazy, man. But we'll see when he turns up. But Leon, what are you saying, my brother? You good?
I'm here, man. I'm good. I feel blessed. Mandem chat. I'm excited, man. So yeah. It's always a pleasure to be chopping up United with you, man. And yeah, I think Tyrone's the new Musa still. Yeah.
Come on, man. We got Rhino in the building. Rhino, what are you saying, man?
Yeah, we're live. Someone in the comments is basically making me laugh, but yeah, now we're live, man. Big up the chat, man. Big up the Mandem as well, man. Let's go, man. Let's listen. This is therapy right now, man. It's therapy right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Someone saying, "Oh shit, you got Bruno on the show, bro." Who's Bruno? I don't understand that.
I better not be me.
Cunha, you man are slacking. It's Cunha.
It's Cunha, man. It's Cunha. Man like Cunha, you get me? It's on the show, man. There ain't no Bruno Fernandes here, man. But listen, man. We got a lot to discuss, you know, man. We got a midfield issue going on. We got, bro, front three. What's the best front three? Late bid for Gravenburch, apparently. We're hearing there could be a late bid for that one as well. But, Leon, I'm going to start with you, man. Like, midfield. Mount is now injured now. Is that I always say, like, midfield is people getting injured. It's never a blessing in disguise, but I think Ten Hag would have played him again against Nottingham Forest, and we probably would have noticed what our midfield would have been. But what are you saying about our midfield, man? Because I don't see no movement going on. It's very, very stale. It's very, very flat. You know, it's not looking good right now. I can't lie to you, bro.
Yeah, I've been in my sector a bit sucked in this week, one of them weeks. I haven't seen too much news, so I will be relying on you lot for a little bit of news on that. Obviously, I didn't know about the Mount thing, to be fair. That could be advantageous to us because we all know that Nottingham Forest, I think we played them last year, and it was how would you like describe it? Were we playing a 4-1-4? That game was wide open in midfield, wasn't it? Like more Gibbs White and them went up, and the gaps were huge. So I think maybe it's a blessing. Like, it's not nice to lose a player, but maybe it's a blessing because if he plays well in that game, is he going to play him against Arsenal? Is he going to play him against the other style teams? And do you know what I'm saying? Like, he's stubborn at keeping the same man in midfield, but we've got a crisis right now. We really need to be smart in the market. We need to do things like loans right now. Let's be deadly honest, yeah. If we're either going to trust the Hannibals and like I said to you guys last week, or we have to loan. Do you know what I mean? Maybe we'll get. I mean, what do you guys think that we'll buy one more and loan one? Do you think that we'll just loan one? United are pretty scumbaggy when it comes to this sort of thing. Are they just going to kind of go? They're not trying to spend money. Let's be real. So they're just going to go. Okay, we'll just give you a Gravenburch loan and that's enough. And it's like, now we lost Fred. We've got players who are out. We've got players that are off form. So we're lacking, man. We need three. We need 2 or 3, don't we? So what do you, man, think? Do you think we're going to loan one? Do you think they'll end up buying one?
I think Man United need 2. We need someone who's physical and is aggressive in Amrabat. And then you need someone who's technical like a Gravenberg. Again, I'm probably asking for too much, but I said it from the start of the window. United needed 3 midfielders because you lost Fred. Well, Donny's probably staying now because apparently the interest is now gone. But you needed 3 midfielders to freshen it up, man. Look at Man City now. All of a sudden, they're getting Eze and Nunes. They're not
They're
getting
getting
one.
Eze.
They're getting
They're
2.
They're
Then
looking at
getting
them anyway.
Eze.
They're looking at both. Yeah.
They're looking at them both. So imagine they're going to get 2. And that's a team that's just won a treble, by the way. That's just a team that's
already added Kovacic, by the way.
Wait. So they're getting Eze and who?
They're looking at Matthias Nunes from Wolves.
I thought they'd done Paqueta. That's breakdown. That's not.
No.
Oh, he's got like a betting scandal thing going on.
Oh yeah, the new Ivan Toney. Yeah.
Basically.
I think, Saeed, that we'll just get 1. But I agree with you. We need 2. I want someone who's more defensive minded, more volume passing, physical, like at Amrabat, and then I would like a ball carrying midfielder, which Gravenburch can actually excel in. By the way, like his move. People need to realize just because he's gone to Bayern and it hasn't worked out for him, it doesn't mean he's a bad player. He's actually one of the best players at Ajax, 100%. So all I feel like he needs is someone that trusts him, can get his confidence back. And he's at a great age as well. Like he's got actually the trait. I called for Gravenburch a little while back and I thought as an option for 25, 30 million. I feel like, and I know as much as some people don't like Pogba, I loved Paul Pogba, innit? And I just feel like we never got the best out of him. But since Paul Pogba's gone, we don't have anyone that can travel with the ball. Paul Pogba probably made our midfield look better because he was able to get the ball from one side of the pitch to the other. If we didn't actually have Paul Pogba, the midfield would look even worse than what it would be without Paul Pogba. So I feel like Gravenburch can be one of them players that can get the ball from one half of the pitch and drive with it, like we saw Matthias Nunes guys doing at Old Trafford a week ago against us. So I would go for Gravenburch and an Amrabat. One's 27 to 30 million. The other one you could probably get with a loan obligation to buy. It's a no-brainer because Man United, at the end of the day, you need players. There's no way, like we said last week, before the Spurs game, we could watch this team and Ten Hag can be like, yeah, my priority is getting a defender or getting another attacker in. We then played Spurs since then, and the midfield was absolutely shambolic. And this is in regards to Ten Hag sticking with the same 11, which I messaged you the night before, saying same 11.
Yeah. I said same 11, man. You killed me, man. You killed me that day. Did you watch my video yesterday? Did you? I don't know if you Mandem caught my video.
No, I haven't.
I watched it. So very insightful, man.
Yeah, proper. You know, when I threw Amrabat and Gravenburch in there, they were like, "Are you sure you want them?"
Wait, who?
Gravenburch and Amrabat.
So who were you with? Who were we on with?
The top, we Ajax guys, the guys from Ajax.
Okay. Cool.
Ajax. Okay. We talk Ajax, yeah. And these guys, was because I basically said to them, "What about Amrabat?" And they said, "Your midfield then will be too rigid." And then I said Gravenburch, and I said, "Yes, his fundamentals are there in terms of he plays like a De Jong, but it's not a De Jong like prototype in that aspect. But is it too soon for him to take that step up? And is he really polished in his game?" They were looking at some other midfielders, man. And you know what? I can't remember the midfielders that they said, but it weren't them midfielders that they were talking about. But like I said to you, we don't know how they would fit in our system in that regards. But bro, like I like Gravenburch, but again, at what confidence is he at right now? He's barely had a game at Bayern Munich. Could it be a similar situation to Donny van der Beek, where you have to get his game time up, you have to get his confidence back up? Amrabat for me is an absolute. We have to. It's imperative. We lack physicality and aggression at midfield, but it's very, very slow. I don't see no links. You know what I mean? Like I don't see nothing, bro. Like I don't see anything.
And we're watching Brighton win 2 from 2. We're looking at teams like obviously Liverpool have just signed Endo. Whether people say it's an amazing signing or not, the fact that they're getting someone is still getting someone. We're not getting nobody. It fills the space exactly, and he's experienced Rhino, man. So I'll be honest, man. There's a lot to talk about. I'll let Rhino land, but I'm so worried. I am so worried about this season.
Yo, just a quick one, we need. Sorry, Rhino, just a quick one. We need 2 because Saeed hit a really good point there. Like the biggest thing that we've seen in the last few weeks is a lack of physicality in the midfield. And for me, when I played ball, I never played ball to a high level. I just played for my Sunday team, but I watched my brethren play whatever. Everybody knows a baller in it, and you always got to have that one physical man, the one that controls it a little bit, someone who can carry. But right now, Saeed, what you're saying is music to my ears because if we have 2. We don't have to do what we're doing up front. Right now, the whole fan base is putting all the pressure. You said it on your video the other day. Neji said it on his as well, on a 20-year-old striker. And we know how people can get bubbled up and boiled at United because with the pressure in it. So if we have 2, if one's off form, the other one isn't, they can compete, do you know what I mean, for a position, or they've got different attributes. Because if we get one, like if Gravenburch comes in now on loan, he's under mad pressure, Crazy pressure. Do you know what I mean?
Casemiro's
already under pressure.
With his
And we're 2
confidence
games
already
in.
being low from Bayern, is it good having a low confidence player come into a team that's already low on confidence?
Exactly.
Already, yeah.
But yeah, sorry, Rhino,
That's
you did.
my...
Yeah, Mandem. I'm definitely concerned at this point. We've got 7 days left. Based on the track record of United, yes, we've done things a bit differently in regards to the fact that we've got players a bit earlier than normal, but we need reinforcements, man. I think Amrabat's been waiting all this time. It will be embarrassing not to actually go in for him. But then, as we know, we were meant to get rid of players before we could get him in. So we're in a situation now. Are they going to just pull out money out of the hat like what they did last season just because they've seen that we've started poorly? Maybe, I don't know, maybe this is a masterclass in hindsight. Ten Hag's maybe just forcing their hands, to show them, look, we're playing so bad. Look, are you guys going to pull out something out of the emergency pot? But we need a ball carrier badly, and we need that intensity. We don't have no physicalness in the... We've just got loads of Van der Beeks in the midfield, man. Literally, like, just flimsy.
Do you watch Monday Night Football?
Sometimes.
Did you see the graphic this week about how many the people midfielders basically getting ran past? I don't know if anyone.
Casemiro had 6 or something.
Yeah, Mount had 7, Bruno had 6. Yeah. It was ridiculous.
Mad.
Bro.
Yeah. It's crazy, man.
Yeah. I got a super chat here saying Gravenburch gets bullied in the Premier League, thin Donny 2.0. And Ryan says here, Eric Ten Hag demands one more signing. Unfortunately, the owners doesn't care. No manager will succeed with these players under the current regime. Listen, I totally agree. That one there is a, we failed under every manager. The reason why now, obviously, Ten Hag's getting a lot to blame is that he's brought his personnel in. Mount is now injured. I don't know what the injury is, because to me, he looked all right after the game, but again, he was brought off. You got now, it's Eriksen, who, I'm not going to lie to you, Mandem, like, you play it for a full game, you'll get caught out against Nottingham Forest. Not McTominay, listen, might give you a bit of legs in that area, but Donny is even going to be chosen. It's mad, bro. And this is why, for me, I just don't understand why we've not gone in for a midfielder. Like, generally, even if you said, like, okay, we still got a lot of bodies in there, bro. Like, you need quality, man. Like, we've just got numbers in that area with Eriksen, Donny, and McTominay. That's numbers. But are they quality? Are they quality? Like, let's be honest, guys. Are they quality enough to get us through to the next game? Because we've got Arsenal. We may win against Nottingham Forest, and we may just get a little 2-1, 3-1. You never know. But against Arsenal, just before the international break, everyone's going to feel like shit because you know why? We've lost to Arsenal because we got bullied in midfield.
Do you know why I feel crap, Saeed? And I'm going to put it like this. I'm going to go through every single one of our rivals, right, and look at their signings. They all signed a midfielder. Man City got Kovacic. Hear me out. Man City got Kovacic at the moment. You've got Liverpool. They've got McAllister, Szoboszlai, and Endo. So they signed 3. You've got Tottenham. They signed James Maddison at the moment, yeah? And they've got Basuma back, who's kind of like a new signing, basically. You then got Chelsea. You've got Lavia and Caicedo. Yeah, and then you've got Newcastle. They've gone out and signed Tonali, and then on the wing they've got Harvey Barnes, but put Tonali in there as a midfielder. Manchester United, Mason Mount. I've just gone through all our competitive rivals and gone through every single one of their signings in midfield, and they're all better than Man United and Mason Mount. Problem, big problem, you lot.
Massive.
Simple. I don't have to say
do you know what
else.
As well? Yeah, Ty. Just to jump on the back of that, like, it's at the end of last season. Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. We believed like we was in a really good foundation position. Imagine building a house and we put the layer down. The back four done well. We were underwhelmed with the amount of goals scored, weren't we? Like, but we were like, I don't know. Am I in the same mindset as you lot?
Yeah, 100%. I agree.
I was sort of there thinking. I was there thinking if we get 1 or 2 midfielders, this is going to build into something. I knew that the up front might take a while, so I knew that like, what did we score? Is it 58 goals last year? Is that right?
Yeah.
So if we'd have scored 65, 70 this year, maybe a Sancho or because I look at probabilities quite a lot. So if I'm like, Rashford does a similar thing, Garnacho gets 5, Sancho and Anthony get like 5 to 10 each, then we've kind of got the wins there. They don't have to be 3-4-0. They can be 1-0, 2-1s, but more goals. Now I'm looking at it and I'm like, with Fred gone, McTominay is not to be relied on for me personally, because even though he has some good attributes, the amount of games that I've seen the guy being run past in midfield and just sort of jogging idly next to the person, no pressure on the ball, sort of hit and miss in them games. I don't know, man. We're looking like we're lacking a lot. Like Donny's if I'm correct, he wasn't included in the Tottenham game, so he looks like he's on the way out. Or
he played in behind the closed door game where we got beat 3-0, sorry, by Burnley. By the way, people,
Today, yeah.
We got beat 3-0 by Burnley. He was in there with I think, was it Hannibal? Was McTominay in there? By the way,
Hannibal and McTominay.
Who was in there? Hannibal, McTominay,
I feel
Donny,
sorry for him, man.
Martial, I think was in there.
I feel sorry for him because he doesn't get the chances. He really does not get the rub of the green, does he? Like what's it going to take for Donny to get a start? Is it Ericsson to be Brook, and then I don't know. Like we're not using our assets, because I have that thing playing in my head that Rhino said last week, that we're not getting the most out of the players that we've got. But we're on thin ice right now, man. I mean, we're really, what we're looking at. We're gonna have to bring in a Hannibal, and that's going to be.
We need to. Do you know what?
I mean, relying on that though.
It's crazy. We're waiting for Manu to come back already in October, November, and then we're already thinking Hannibal needs minutes because he's more of a natural centre midfielder than what we've got available right now. Ericsson can give us 60 minutes, but we know that's it. And then you've got Mason Mount obviously out at the moment. McTominay, we know, like Saeed said, physicality, but if you're in there just to play him for physicality, it's not. Do you know what I mean? And I saw even Culture Cams saying on the Inside Scoop or whatever it was, Harry Panera, and he was like, a year in, and like we're struggling to even see an identity at the moment. Do you know what I'm saying?
That was a big statement.
And it is kind of true. You see Pochettino in the first game against Liverpool in the second half, and you're like, these are popping it about. Yeah, they lost to West Ham, but let's be real. If you watch the game, they should have beat West Ham. They just couldn't score. And then you've got Ange, who in the second half made it look like year 11 versus year 9. That's what it felt like watching Man United Spurs in that second half. I'll be real. And then obviously you've got the other managers that Arteta, obviously Pep, they've got their systems there. Klopp, they've got their energy and their systems there. So, yeah, man, it's either got to be on Ten Hag as well. Like, as much as I criticize the players, I am going to be watching Ten Hag. I'm not saying I'm watching Ten Hag, I'm going to want him out. There's a difference between obviously saying I want him out, but criticizing. We can criticize, man. And at the end of the day, even against Spurs, I even thought his in-game management was a bit crap. The way he was moving with the subs and that, like, he left these players on way too long. He already gave them a second chance by saying, do you know what, I'm going to start you again. Don't let them run the clock down to 70 minutes and have shown you jack crap anyway. It was just, I just don't know.
That's what them Ajax guys said yesterday. They said that he's got a history of doing that.
He's stubborn. Yeah, he's stubborn like that.
Stubborn.
Yeah,
and Saeed, that stubbornness is going to be his own downfall,
Yeah, and the other thing as well is, Mandem, we don't have a utility man anymore. Remember the days of Blind or a Park or something? Yeah, we don't have somebody that can just fill the gap. When you're like, yo, I need you to hold it down till Christmas. Who is that? Yeah. Who can play? Who is that?
Yeah.
Like,
or even in midfield.
Are we going to play Dallo in midfield?
Bro, nah. You know what I mean? Before, Ander Herrera, this is what I'm saying. All these fans that used to dismiss Ander Herrera, man, in these little big games in midfield, he's tactically, we don't even have players that are tactically sound. Like, I get it, Casemiro's been in the big games, but everyone else is just like they play like it's their first game. Like Luke Shaw, bro. Like, if you wouldn't understand that Luke Shaw has played 9 years at Man United, but yet his naivety not to come across goal for that chance that they had, the first goal. How can you leave Garnacho on his own? You're the experienced guy. Like, why is it so many players in this team, like, they just don't have the intelligence to make decisions on their own? And this is why, for me, you can slander the manager all you want, but where the in-game management from the players as well, they don't get it as well. I'm just going to read a couple of super chats here. By the way, guys, there's nearly 1,000 people here. We've not even reached 200 likes. Guys, come on, man. We need them likes up, man. Hit the like button, people. It doesn't cost you a penny, but it helps the channel grow. So hit the like button, people. Sanjeet, that says, everything aside, United have agreed to give 200k Anthony from 20k Ajax.
That is mad.
Also, big up to you. Guys, Ten Hag could have got Amrabat and Gravenburch on 50 million. And what did he do? By the way, there's an interview on Anthony in a Brazilian station. I don't know if you've seen it, but he's done an interview in the last month. I probably need to watch it, I've seen it on YouTube somewhere, so I'm going to see what he's been saying, and it's only been out like a month, so I want to see what his mindset is, whether he thinks he's doing enough in that regard and whatnot. Big up to guys, Ten Hag could have got Amrabat and Gravenberg on 50 million, and what did he do? So he chose Mount. Don't want to hear no excuses. Well, this is the thing, though. He can rectify himself, though. Like, the manager can still save the window. But I'll be honest with you, I'm just looking at thinking, yo, man, what's it going to take for us to get a couple of midfielders in? Is it going to take another result against Nottingham Forest? Is it going to take a thrashing against Arsenal. What is it going to take to sort out this midfield? That for me, we've neglected it for so many years under Paul Pogba, under so many midfielders that we've had. We've never ever been able to kind of say, you know what? For once, yeah, we're going to sort this midfield out once and for all. You see
And
what I mean,
Saeed,
though?
you know what it is as well, yeah? If it takes that, what you're saying, yeah, then we're back in the same position as when we always buy players. It's going to be panic buys. Poor wages, too many fees. Do you know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden you get stuck with midfielders. Right now, it's looking like if we kept Fred and Sabitzer, it's looking like, do you know what I'm saying? Like it is
Bro,
mad.
it's
Like
wild that,
for me personally, what
It's
you do
wild
is
that.
you go out, yeah, you grab an Amrabat, yeah, because he is so useful as a 6 and 8. He can just fill gaps, and the man's gonna die for the shirt in it. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
and
of course.
then you loan maybe an understudy to Casemiro, or you loan another 8, yeah. And what you do is you find someone that's hungry to say, yo, if you can produce in a year something good, yeah, you'll get a contract. That way, you're spending. I don't know what Amrabat's wages are. I'm sure you could get him on 50 to 100k. Maybe I don't know. Maybe yeah. But like Amrabat, you get him for like what 25 million euros is touted as. So it's like 20 million quid. Yeah, and then you get the kid on like 20k a week. Solved, done. But I'm talking about a football club that runs properly, innit? But that's not.
And people that seem to say about sporting director, which I actually agree with, but Ten Hag had Overmars, obviously before that incident, what happened with Overmars, but Overmars used to help him a lot. And at the moment, it looks like Ten Hag is the only one saying what players he wants, and then the club are basically going out and getting them at the moment. And that's not really working. It's like, I know Ralph Rangnick didn't really work out, but the way Rangnick used to speak about not him as a manager, but him as a sporting director, that's exactly the guidance you kind of want. Look at Newcastle right now. They took, even though Brighton scouting is still wicked, by the way, but they took Brighton's main sporting director, Dan Ashworth, and he's working at Newcastle now. And you can see the way Newcastle are moving. Everyone thought they were going to come in and splash hella money. No, they're doing it smart. They're doing it calculated. But the signings they're making, Livramento, Lewis Hall, Harvey Barnes, Tonali, they're all, when you look at it for the squad, they're brilliant signings and they're doing things so clever. And it's annoying that you feel like Manchester United, who should be one of the best in class, like Gary Neville said years ago, have not even got the competency to just have the basics set out. And for me, I work in a normal company, obviously, but if my regional manager or my director is not great or not doing things well, how is everything else around it meant to be well? It's got to come from the basics inside the club first, and then that filters out to the rest of the players you potentially want, the agents, people that gossip. If you're working for a company, you know it's completely chaos, and then they're getting loads of like rife stuff on the internet. And so, like it doesn't look good, and it's obviously not good. And Man United have not even got the basics set up inside, and I think that's now like factoring out to obviously our transfer window. We're not even, let's forget incomings, people. We're not even able to sell players like Brandon Bloody Williams. Like, no disrespect, Brandon, if you're watching this, but bro, what, like, you're still here. Like, do you know, like, it's ridiculous. There's so many players that we should be able to get rid of. I watch Chelsea sell players for ridiculous amounts. Liverpool selling players for ridiculous amounts. I see Man City selling Carlos Borges to Ajax. He's not even played a senior men's game for like 40 million. Game, yeah. Like, it's, do you know what I'm saying? The basics are not there at the moment in the football club, and it's starting to filter out now. And I feel like, you know, Casemiro said about being exposed in midfield. I feel like Ten Hag is slowly like exposing himself a little bit, and it's just a catalogue of errors. And like we've got Nottingham Forest, yeah, and there's no way that I should be going into this game thinking that we could lose. But I'm already thinking about Gibbs White running out our back four because our midfield is going to be wide open. Why should I be thinking like that in the third game of the season? Like, I'll be real with you. We might win 2-1. But the fact that I can't come in and say, you lot, yeah, we're winning 3-0, we're not on Forest, let's move on like Arsenal would or something like that. Like, I think we're going to scrape it, Said. And I'm already fearing what they could do on the break. It's not good.
Yeah. But this is the thing, though, Rhino. It's like,
you think a lot. Yeah, go on.
No, you're not.
You're not. You're calm.
No, I was talking just before. Like, yeah.
Okay.
Go on.
I was gonna say, Ryan, do you reckon Ten Hag has taken out on a lot? Like he's taken on so much. Like,
yeah, that's what I was gonna say, Said. But that's exactly what I was gonna say. Like, I feel like what's happened is Ten Hag probably thought that we're gonna get new ownership. Ten Hag probably thought certain players are gonna leave. We're gonna get certain players in. He was probably banking on people like Manu to have maybe his breakthrough season or whatever. I think that injury is very vital to what our pre-season and how we started this season. But like Ten Hag always says, injuries and stuff are part of the plan. So he should have had a backup plan. You know, if he knew that he was going in for Mount and he's looking for Kane and he's looking for a secondary striker and two midfielders, he should have had the probability of that not working out as well. So that's my issue. So I definitely do question Ten Hag. His decisions in game in terms of his first team selection hasn't been the greatest, putting Rashford in the middle and whatnot. But at the same time, he has been let down. So he is taking a lot of pressure. Like the Ajax guys said yesterday, if he's got a good, competent director of football, ownership and stuff, he will flourish well. You'll start to see the fruits of his labor. And all top managers need that balance. Like was discussed in the group chat, a director of football to tell you, nah, don't go for him, go for this person, and you have an equal say. So yeah, he's under a lot of pressure. I'm not saying Ten Hag out. I still believe in him. I think he can make this work. He'll figure this out, you know what I'm saying? But there is a lot of pressure on top in terms of the management and the ownership as well above. So yeah, 100%.
Big up Smokey. He says here, Mandem, if you had to choice yourself between Evan Ferguson and Højlund, say if you would get for the same price. Listen, I would have took Evan Ferguson. Personally, I've watched Højlund. I didn't see anything special. But again, you know what I mean? Højlund, I reckon Ferguson would have cost you probably a bit more. I don't know if it's ideally that would happen. But for the same price, you'd probably say Evan Ferguson, just because of what you know of him in the Premier League in that aspect, you know what I mean? So I would say that. But does anyone disagree with me while I change the light 1 second?
I haven't really watched Ferguson like that,
Yeah, it's hard, because
I
like
say
Højlund's ability to run in behind more, and I feel like he's got that extra bit of pace. But Ferguson's obviously got that physical robustness where he's already played a few games in the Prem. I think more people are obviously projecting Ferguson to be sort of that guy in the next 2 or 3 years. The same with Højlund. Like, it's a tricky one. I want to see more from both. I don't want to just come in and act like I'm going to know everything. I want to see more from both. Simple as that. But they've both got potential in it. Sorry, Leon.
Yeah,
I think it's price dependent. I think that's what it is, in my opinion. So, like, if you're going to turn around and get a Ferguson for 30 million quid or Højlund for 65, and you're going to go for the Brighton kid because that Brighton team's robust, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? But I think, people like the video as well, man, because we're saving you, man. United's it's a hard time for United right now. And Saeed's bringing you that content, and it's the Mandem chat.
Therapeutic.
Therapy costs a lot,
But
bro, I'm telling you,
I think
mad in the dunya.
I think going back to Ten Hag, it's tricky sometimes. I feel like big up Musa in the chat, man. Do you know what I mean? The Wi-Fi and the scenery is looking nice, man. So big up him. I feel like I'll check the feds. I feel like
can you hear us? I think that
just come out the back of that van, fam. There's a police van there. Just come out that now, man.
I said that one.
I think for me, it's interesting how Musa's come in on this point. You could probably jump on the back of this. I think we have to be on Ten Hag watch a little bit, because when you've got so many managers around you with not only less resources, but less time as well, who are doing things like we're talking about the guy at Tottenham, what he's done in that short space of time. We're talking about the impact of the guy at Brighton that he done. We're talking about what's his name at Villa. We're watching managers go into clubs with less resources, players that are not as good quality as ours, making a difference quicker. And sometimes we were told a while ago, this Erik ten Hag's this guy who's won and I'm not disrespecting him, but he's won the Eredivisie, he's a tactician, he's this, he's that. We built it up a lot before he came, and when you reflect on it right now, we've had a solid defense, but I think Culture Cams was right. What have we seen consistently ahead of that defense week to week over the last season?
No, but can I say something, Leon, based on just what you're saying?
Go on.
We have to also factor in this is a bigger ship to steer than those. It's like when Potter came from Brighton and went to Chelsea, it's a bigger ship. So there's a lot of, I think, I agree with you, don't get twisted, but I still feel like we need to definitely be mindful that there's a lot of factors going on at Manchester United that you have to take on board as well when you kind of compare that other lower teams are doing with less.
I agree.
I
think my point I was going to, I do agree with that. My point I was going to was people have questioned I've seen online on streams or whatever that Ten Hag is quite naive. And when you look back at some of his decisions as well, I'm not saying he's not a quality manager. He's yet to be proved. One of the things that I watched your stream earlier in the week with Nuruddin, Saeed, and one of the things that Nuruddin is very level-headed with, and I agree with, and I very much debate a lot with my friends with, is that the football fan gives people this much time now. When I was younger, you'd watch players play for 2-3 seasons and then you'd make your decision, not 10 games. So I believe that football has changed in that aspect. People demand a lot more sooner, but buying Anthony for how much he has and buying Højlund for how much he has when
that's on him.
Yeah, you know the team's lacking a little bit, and you know that maybe you can go get a second league French baller, you can go get someone from the Bundesliga, you can go into buying maybe 2 players to compete against each other. Because I loved it when Rashford and Martial were competing against each other. I loved it when, you had to fight for spots. But right now it's like, I don't like this whole attitude of fixed positions and this guy, I bought him for this, so he's staying in this. It's like, if you're not playing good and you're not fitting the role and you're not complementing and balancing the team,
that
why
comes
are you
down
playing?
to stubbornness, though.
Yeah,
like the manager
right now,
being stubborn.
Sorry, just to end this, right now, why is Pellistri not playing right now? Like, let's be really deadly honest right now.
He's going on loan.
What do I say to that? You know what I'm saying? So, but because that would, for me personally as a manager, that would allow Anthony to sit on the bench and get the bit between his teeth and go, I'm going to come back and I'm going to get that position. Do you know what I'm saying? Like Dallo and Wan-Bissaka have got going on. And I'm sure Malassi, if we give him an opportunity, he's going to take it because he's watching Luke Shaw play all the games. But certain man in certain positions, Mount, Anthony, Rashford sometimes, I would say in a way, they know I play good, I play bad, I'm playing ball every week. So...
Before I bring in Musa and Neji, big up Neji. I think he's on a Eurostar there. Big up Neji. Archie says these losses and injuries might be a blessing in disguise. Might force things to happen. Also, Northern is right. We might eventually kick on late season. Last season we beat Liverpool. Now we beat Arsenal to help us. Listen, like Arsenal might be to help us. Listen, let's see with that one. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think right now we should have been in a better position to kind of feel better about the games rather than feeling a bit kind of nervous. Musa, what are you saying, man? Unmute yourself. I don't know if you're going to get an echo, though, but yeah, unmute yourself.
No, I'm outside.
Yeah,
I'm outside.
Yeah, say that again.
No, I said I'm outside. Can you hear me, yeah?
Yeah, you go and then we'll stop speaking.
So what are you saying? Talk to me.
What are you saying about Man United just right now?
Man United as a whole, boy, listen, guys, I don't even want to speak. I don't want to speak because I feel like if I speak, I just won't finish, man. Like right now, I'm upset, man. I just don't have too much to say. You know why? Because I think a lot of us put a lot of like hope behind Ten Hag. A lot of us put a lot of hope behind Ten Hag in what he done at Ajax, his style of play, and I think a lot of us, after going through what we went through with the previous managers, we got to a point where we were like, you know what? We're ready to kind of take a standard season as long as that, the manager implements what he wants to implement. None of us really was crying out for trophies first season. None of us was really crying out for anything. We just said, implement what you want to implement and let's go second season. So I feel like even with some of these buys, we were just fully behind it as a fan base. Even when Martinez came in, a lot of people was like, but he's a bit short. But we shrugged it off. We shrugged it off as a fan base and said, nah, he's a ball playing centre back. He can do this, he can do that. And we looked at all the positives. It's the same thing we've done with Anthony. It's the same thing we did when he was chasing De Jong all season, like through all transfer season. Like we were positive and behind it. And I think to get to where we are now, I think the first strange things that I saw were in pre-season when he came out and he was saying that the players are not listening to him. I remember Said, I was saying, listen, he's got to be careful because the last manager that came out talking about these players in front of the camera, them man there were down the tools real quick. You know what I'm trying to say? So when he said that, that was the first thing I was thinking, it's only pre-season. He's saying that they're not listening to his tactics. I was like, okay, cool. Then we start the season and it's the same. Like a lot of us was thinking we can't judge what's happening now because it's pre-season. Maybe when the season kicks off, the team will be ready. But then when I've looked at the 8 games that we've had in pre-season, half of them were with us with a 11 that's not really featured, and or that's not even being planned to feature. So I was thinking, so you spent half the games giving it to a group of people who you're not even trying to keep all together. So it's like, so what's going on there? So I feel like, so you have to look at it and think that the first 11 have only had 4 games in pre-season. Do you know what I'm saying? So then it's like, what's going on there, Eric? We give it the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he knows something we don't know. Then we start the season. We already was doubting Mount. A lot of us had our own reservations. And then the brother starts, and yes, we're not like Havertz hasn't had the best start to the season. There's other players that haven't had the best start to the season. But we don't care about them. We're talking about Man United. You know what I'm trying to say? This is the team that we support. As far as we're concerned, we thought that the way he was on to Mount, we thought he knew something we didn't know. I was like, maybe my man knows something I don't. Maybe he's seen something. Let me back him. But then he's played his player, and I'm just looking around like, what's going on? This is what I thought it was. Because you have to think about it, and I said it all transfer window side. I said that Mount is a player who has 1 year left on his contract. 1 year. He's a player that hasn't played well at all at
Chelsea.
Yeah, he's a player that hasn't played well at all in his last season. So if you ain't played well at all in your last season, you've got 1 year left on your contract. What's the rush? What are we doing? So I don't know, man. There's a lot. So right now, I'm not even optimistic. I'm just waiting. I just want to see Erik ten Hag after the first 10 games. I can't even judge him after the first.
You know what? Yeah, just to chip in on what you said, yeah, because that's funny. You literally sound like Biz, who was on my channel yesterday, said the same thing about the preseason and the players and that. And then he also chipped in and said the players as well. Some of them have been complaining still about their jet lagged, because when you think about it, I'm not even trying to make an excuse for these players, right? They went from Scotland to New York to San Diego, which is the West Coast, back to Florida, which is the East Coast. We had the busiest preseason out of everyone, and whether they were playing or not, all this traveling to then come back. And I think we only played Bilbao, well, it was a week later, a week before the Prem started, and then we went straight into the Prem. And yeah, after Lons, that's it, and the Lons game. And I'll be real with you. One thing Ten Hag was talking about, Musa, was obviously about being fit and being one of the transition teams and stuff like that. Bro, in the first 2 games, we've looked so unfit. And I don't know if it's even the preseason and the jet lag and everything coming into it. And by the way, this is not an excuse. This is just like a pile up of,
I know what you mean.
What do I call it? Miscalculation side factors.
But how many games have we had behind closed doors? I get it, it's normal, but we've had about 2 or 3 games behind closed doors.
Everton and Burnley, I think, 2 weeks in a row.
Bro, that's mad, you know, when you deep it. We've had nine games, nine games.
Yes, I count them as preseason games. That's 9, basically.
So I'm just like, bro, man, like, where do you go, man? Big up to Smokey says, reason I asked is because Ferguson supports Man United and he's not going to be there for much longer. Big up the Mandem 100. Yeah, big up to you, my guy, Smokey. I hear you, man. I absolutely hear you. Make sure you guys are still liking the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Neji, we're buying a new keeper. You know what I mean? Because that's apparently the priority right now. You know what I mean? Even though I would keep Culver and I would probably keep Keaton, but apparently he's injured. But yeah, man. What are you saying? How are you feeling, Neji?
Yo, before Neji comes in, yeah, can we just give him a bit of credit, please? Because look at the make do studio that he's got going on in the train.
You know what, man?
Neji,
I like that.
Crazy.
I like that, man. Big up Neji.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, man. Fair play, man. Fair play.
Yeah, big up people, man. Shout out Leo, man. Is that 50 Cent down there? Big up 50 Cent on his debut. Do you know what I mean? Shout out to Rhino. I don't know what to do about.
Neji, listen, I know Neji's feeling ready for this. He's ready.
Listen, you really think, yeah? Listen, you really think because I'm on a Euro song, I'm gonna hush my gums. The whole train needs to hear about this. Nah, listen, obviously, big up the man and big up in the comments as well. It's crazy, you know, because I seen the keeper situation. You already know what I thought on the keeper situation, and it's just a waste of money again for me. And again, this isn't about wanting to change a goalkeeper. It's a knock-on effect. And I think the best way I can describe it is that. Yeah, sorry if it cuts out. I've got an excuse though. So, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
It's cutting in and out. It's cutting in and out.
Yeah.
It's cutting in and out.
Yeah, sorry. If it goes, I'm going to connect to the Wi-Fi because I'm still on my own data. But yeah, just quickly. I think for me, buying the goalkeeper as a priority wasn't necessarily what I thought would should have happened.
Yeah, Neji, come in and out.
I can't hear you, Neji.
Yeah, Neji, you might have to come in and out. Come in and out because honestly, I won't be able to hear you, bro. Nah, love, man. Yeah, people, like I said, man, I think for me, the question comes down to this is on Ten Hag, innit? I think right now we have to trust the manager. You have to trust the process. You know what I mean? There isn't 2 ways about it, guys. I think for me, a lot of people, you know, when I talked to the We Talk IS guys, it gave me a bit of perspective. He said it ain't going to work overnight. You know, the players that are still there are still not good enough. But he also said that there are still things that he needs to change, you know. The attackers as well, for me, the front three. I think there's a problem there, man. I don't know where to start. Tyrone, you start with me, man. Where do we start in terms of that front three? Because I don't know what Ten Hag is doing, man, with that front three there. Garnacho isn't ready. Anthony is boy, man. Is he gonna drop him? Is he gonna drop?
Man, even
Anthony?
put on the West Indian accent there. Boy, man.
Boy, man. Boy, man.
Aye,
Boy.
but do you know what? So I'm so glad I saw the title, and I thought midfield crisis, Gravenburch, and I thought, don't let this get to 1 hour and we don't talk about the front three, because we have to talk about this front three. I'm sick of it. I am sick of it. Do you know what? First thing is they're all selfish. Garnacho selfish. Rashford, mute Nate. That's okay. Because it echoes on the background.
Yeah, the echo comes in now, but I'll mute you and then you come back in. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, sick. Big up. Safe, Neji. Yeah. First thing I want to say is selfish, man. Like Garnacho, a selfish type of player. Ronaldo. Whoa. Rashford.
Whoa.
Yeah, whoa. Rashford, a selfish, more number 9, doesn't know how to play the role. And Anthony, I'm just sick of him. I'm not even going to talk about the price, if I'm honest. I'm just sick of him in general. You know, cutting in left foot, shoots over the bar, gets past his player, and it's like, right, deliver with your right foot. We know he can't do that. He comes back in and then he slows things down. He does that jinky. Like, I'll be honest with you, I don't even think he starts at any top 8 club, if I'm honest, in the Premier League. I just think at the moment, right, this front three lacks real balance. And we said the midfield lacks balance. We've then got the midfield lacking balance and the front three lacking balance. Garnacho, let's just have it as it is. He's got a future at Manchester United. Yes. Is he ready to be a Manchester United starter? No. When he comes on against tired legs, is he impactful? Yes. When he's playing against Semedo, when he's playing against Pedro Porro, who are coming in at the same minutes as him, same fitness, same energy, can he do it? The answer is no. He got in a few times against Spurs on the left-hand side in the first half. I'll give him like his flowers a little bit for his positioning. He got in some good positions, but nothing came of it. So that was a waste in the end. Rashford, this guy, is from St. Kitts and Nevis, his family, I'm from there. And that means I should like kind of back him a bit more. No, Rashford, you're up for criticism. Your body language flipping stinks. Your body language flipping stinks. I was in a group chat, Saeed, before the game kicked off, and I knew he was playing against Romero. And I said to boys in the group chat, if Romero like budges him or like hits him with a hard tackle within the first 5 minutes, watch Rashford's body language. You won't want it. Every time I've watched Rashford, when I'm at the stadium side and we go to games, when there's a centre-back or someone that imposes themselves on him, his body language is shocking. He has his head down. He doesn't really want it. He doesn't want to fight for the duels. You get balls that come in the air. You know them headers and you sometimes try and win a flick on. He just stands there and watches it. He does everything that you don't want in a striker or a number 9 when your team's against the wall. Man United are not playing well at the moment. Man United are not stringing passes together. Like, you just want these extra little 5% things just to be tried. I don't care if it's not coming off. Just show me that you want to do it. Don't then come off and get subbed off in the 75th minute, Rashford, and then start chucking your bib and doing all that stuff. No. Show on the pitch why you should have been on there still. At the end of the day, I like when these players get 25 and 30 goals, but at the same time, I've got to criticize them. Body language has been poor from Rashford. Anthony's just not cutting it. He's second season now. I'll judge him at the end of this season to say whether I think he's fully going to make it or not, but the signs are not promising. And Garnacho, like I said to you, he's a young guy that's not ready to start at the football club yet. This Saturday, run me Sancho on the right wing, run me Martial up 9, and run me Rashford on the left. Get players playing in positions they should also be playing at. Rashford is not a number 9 and never will be. So get him back on the left. Get Martial. I don't care. He's had hardly any minutes. He's going to do a better job than what these other front three have done in the last 180 minutes. So get him back at the number 9 and get Jadon Sancho on the right-hand side because he's not really a false 9. He's played minutes in pre-season. He deserves a chance. It's simple as that for me. I don't want to see any other faces. I don't want to see any other names. They've played 180 minutes. He's backed him game after game in the first 2 games, and they've not delivered for him. Simple as that. Change it.
And do you know what I was going to say, Ty, as well, I think one problem for me, I think if Rashford really wanted to try, he could. Because he showed stints of it last season. I feel like he's made up his mind. Like, I don't want to be in the middle. I'm not going to play properly. At least do it for the meantime till Højlund comes in, you know.
Yep.
It's just the mentality for me. And going back on quickly so that we let Neji come back in. Garnacho as well. He's not ready, man. In terms of the decision making, if all these front three can just be less selfish, they will be all right, you know. But it's like, man.
And I feel like, Rhino, though, it's hard to check when it's in your instincts to be like that because you've grown up through the academy being maybe that goal scoring winger or that type of player. to then try and change 3 man, it's so hard. And that's why, yes, like Martial and Sancho might not be the best players right now or the most effective, but they've got the IQ and the balance to bring others into play. And right now we're struggling to score goals. So bring players like that in who can try and just keep the ball a bit, get us high up the pitch. And do you know what I'm saying, man? It's the perfect time now, Ten Hag. This is on Ten Hag. I can't wait for 2 o'clock in the team news. But yes, I say that's me done, bro.
I was going to say, Mandem, what do we think with why do we think Rashford is like this? Because every single manager seems to have played him and seems to put up with the habits. Why do we think that? I mean, for me, it's frustrated me for years. Like his potential is amazing. I like the guy and all that, but I don't want a team that's just like, you're the main man, you can get away with stuff that other people can't. That's not for me in football. I'll be real with you. That's not for me.
Because a lot of people feel sorry for him and that. You know,
like, and why is he not getting hooked at half time when he's not trying?
Leon, what's he done, Leon, that the other in the last 3 seasons that other people haven't who are competing in his position? Output. That's the only answer.
But let's be real, bro. Let's be real, his output could be so much more. You know that, right?
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Yeah, because he personally, he tries when he wants to. He has his moments where he don't want to play. He goes missing in games and scores a goal, and everyone says he's the man of the match. Let's be deadly real now. Like, I've seen it loads of times. You know what I mean? And like for me personally, I'd rather have ballers that are not that attitude, because that will breed throughout the team. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that whole left side has that mindset. You know, Luke Shaw can just put effort in sometimes and not other times
when he wants to.
Yeah, and for time, a lot of people didn't realize. Fred was covering for a lot of these men. You know. Like when he was putting in proper performances, like running from all the way to near the box to try and feed man in all the way back. Do you know what I'm saying? So I like Rashford. I like what he brings to the team, but I know there's certain managers out there that wouldn't. Would Pep Guardiola have that? He'd be hooking man off. You know
the mentality is off, Mandem, and the triangles as well. We're not filling in the half spaces and the gaps, I said it from ages ago. Let everyone work together. There's no unity or effort. It's terrible, man.
Hey G, what are you saying, man? What's your opinions on the front 3, man? Who are you looking to see?
What you saying, man? Is it glitching out or not?
Nice, better now.
Okay, cool. If it glitches or not, I'll go back on mute so you can run the show. But obviously, first and foremost, big up everyone. Make sure you like the video. I'm on Eurostar right now, using my own raw squad data with a makeshift thing at the back. Do you know what I mean? So at least get the likes up for that. On a side note, though,
why are you showing off for?
I'm just gonna go back to the. I'm gonna go back to the raw tip 375. Is that it? Come on, people, man. For me, at least. Do you know what I mean? I'm putting this effort in, and you just like dilly-dallying over the like button. Come on, people, man. Get the algorithms going. Flipping out. Anyhow. Listen, just quickly before it locks off, the goalkeeper situation from before, obviously, I'm not going to go in depth from before, but I just think we prioritised the wrong order, that's all. And I think what we're seeing now is, yes, we've got the right profiles in, but what people don't realise now is that we've gone 3 steps forward with those signings and 5 steps back. Whereas I was saying, if you get the strikers in, keep the defence as it was because it was solid, and we created enough chances. And even now, the past 2 games, I think we're third for the most creative chances in the league, which tells you those we needed was forwards first. I would have more so been happy to go and get the strikers in first, because then that's 1 step forward but no steps back. Right now, because we're going to get Mount and we've got Onana, we're now forced to play slightly different, and it's too much of an impact at the moment. And now, for me, Ten Hag's got to try and switch that round, and I think that's why people are looking at this thinking, why are we worse than what it is? And I don't think people predicted this. Obviously, I did. I tried to tell you, do you know what I mean? And Musa as well. But we're past that now, do you know what I mean? So it is what it is. Ten Hag's got to find a way of dealing with it, and I think that's what I'm saying. He's 3 steps ahead, 5 steps back. And I think, again, I'm giving patience just because I predicted that. It doesn't matter. Do you know what I mean? I'm giving patience. I just have an understanding of, I've now just got to see him go and get his players. So that's where I'm at, really, boys.
Yeah. No, I agree, man. I agree. I think that the patience is needed, but I think it's when he's making certain decisions wrong, and that's where, for me, my kind of grudge comes in. It's like, you know what it is, yeah? A lot of people are mocking Ten Hag. They're like, he ain't got no style of play. He's not ruthless enough. He's not, you know what I mean? He's not, people are calling him a spicy Ollie. And you know what it is, yeah? Although I can, for me, categorically deny that he's nowhere near Ollie, but if he became a possession-based manager, Tyrone, do you think there would be a lot of anguish on the manager? If he was a guy, because you remember, we've not had a possession-based manager since Van Gaal, in that aspect. Obviously, but Ollie was a transitional counter-attacking team. Had he been a possession-based and not a counter-attacking team, would that have kind of held him well? If say now looking at De Zerbi, I don't think De Zerbi might do anything special at Brighton. He might not win any trophy. He might just become a guy who plays good football. We don't know yet. But if that sort of football was played at Old Trafford and people seen what they were saying, what would you think would be the reaction from the crowd?
I'll give you my reaction. I would love it. Give me a ticket to every game. Honestly, because I wouldn't mind if Man United were losing games doing that, because I feel like Man United are playing their way. Ten Hag is putting his identity across to the players. They're taking it in. And I feel like we will get a fair share of chances in our games. And I think we will beat a lot of teams. I'll be honest with you. Like, I was never the biggest person against Van Gaal. I actually kind of like felt like Van Gaal as a coach helped Rashford, helped Luke Shaw, helped Martial. Like, I felt like he was, even Rooney said, one of the best coach. I felt like he was a good coach. We just didn't score enough goals under him, to be honest. But the football we played, the dominated the possession, I always felt like, okay, it was nice because we always had the ball quite a lot. But I'll just be honest with you, like if we had a manager like De Zerbi, I'm all for it, because it's funny you mentioned De Zerbi, because I said on Trafford Tunnel yesterday, right? Last year, Brighton played Man City at home. Last game, one of the last games of the season. Do you remember Enciso scored a banger?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, so that game Enciso scored a banger in, right? De Zerbi spoke about it the other day in his interview, and he was like talking about his style, and he was like, "Oh, we could have got European football against Man City or whatever it was," and people were saying to us, you know, play a bit more defensive style and, you know, try and get a point or whatever it is to get Europe. And he was like, "No way would I ever do that." I said to the players, "I want to go out against Pep Guardiola's Man City, who are going for the treble, and want you lot to play my football, my attacking way, my possession base. And if we lose, you lose on my ship. That means you're going out, playing what I told you to do, doing what you've trained, and that's the way you're going to lose." And if Ten Hag come in and said, "Right, I'm going to be a possession-based coach," and go to his principles, which I think he's more wanting to have possession rather than being transition, I'm all for it. I feel at the moment, what's happened is that sort of possession kind of based football that he had at Ajax, he hasn't got the players to kind of replicate that at Manchester United. He's realised about the physicality of the Premier League within the first few games, and then he's had to divert his style to then become a bit more like trying to make it more robust, even though it doesn't look like it now of our midfield, physical, transition, counter-attacking. And what I think's happened is that this is a manager who I do rate highly, but you're learning a style now on the job at Manchester United in the Premier League, and we've got the Champions League this year. So it's not that I question Ten Hag. I think Ten Hag's a good manager if he sticks to his principles.
But maybe he's a cup manager. Maybe he's a cup manager then.
Yeah, but it's not. That's
not
for the long term, bro. I'm sorry, but if that's what's going to happen at Man United, then that's not for the long term, because the long term base and what you want as a football club and a football fan is to challenge for your league title first. That Champions League and the FA Cups and that come after. 38 game seasons, consistency, that's your league. And I feel like now with Ten Hag, the way he's gone away from his style a bit of dominating the games and controlling the ball more, he's now learning on the job to be a more transition team. And I think that's a hard place to learn on the job in the Premier League when you haven't really got the players for it and we're not really getting the results. So at the moment, like it's just all a bit of a car crash, if I'm totally honest, because I would rather him had played his style and gone with that way. And if we lost games using it, then we would all be on here saying at least we're seeing he's trying to do something.
You know, you make a good point. I'm going to try and bring on Leon on this one. A lot of people say there, you're moaning, possession-based football doesn't do anything, etc., etc. Listen, I'm not asking for crazy amount of possession. I'm just saying when we have the ball, we peg teams back and we know what we do when we have the ball.
Yeah.
There's a way
we don't have control, Saeed.
Control, I was going to say. Control.
Yeah. Control is the word. Okay, let me just stop using the buzzword possession. What about control then? Yeah. How about that then? Yeah. How about that? Because this is the thing. It triggers people when people say possession. Okay, it's not about. I just want us to, when we have the ball, don't lose it after 5 seconds. Yeah. Is that hard? Is that bloody hard though?
Yeah, I think coming in on that point, I think it's interesting because I think you spoke a lot as well, Saeed, about pace and power. But how many players in our team have pace and power? There's not that many who have pace and power. Do you know what I mean?
Not that many.
Yeah, nope. Exactly. But I get what you're saying. You're trying to figure out what he's doing. I think what I hope for Ten Hag is that he can make this season is a patch-up season. We're not going to have the most perfect football, the most amazing midfield, the strikers that score bare goals. I could be wrong. I hope. Listen, I touch wood right in front of me on my desk. I hope that I'm wrong on that one. But I can't see it from what I've seen in pre-season. I can't see it from what I've seen in the back end of last season. Do you know what I mean? So looking at the last 10, 15 games from last season into this one, and I can't see that much. Pre-season wasn't it wasn't anything to rave about, was it, guys? It wasn't anything amazing. Do you know what I mean? So, and
I thought it was quite bad, but apparently I was negative. Apparently, you're being reactionary. I always say preseason is a byproduct of the league in terms of what you prepare in preseason. It's like an exam. You have an exam, right? And if you don't do your revision in the post season, if you don't do your revision, you don't do well in the exam. And I always say, if preseason you're not showing what you're going to implement in the season, then it's no point having a preseason. What was the point of playing Sancho in the false nine? Like, what was it? Like, because I get it. We didn't have no striker. Hoyland wasn't there. I get it. You know what I mean? But the way we did it, the way we played Sancho, he played so well. And he put his mind in it. Just imagine you're Sancho right now, and you're thinking to yourself, I'm a winger, but you know what? Let me see what this false nine thing say. Let me understand what the manager wants from me, because I want to be in the team. He's a team player, Sancho, isn't it? So imagine you're doing that for 3 or 4 games. You're playing well. The fan base appreciate it. Then all of a sudden, you go back to Rashford false nine. Just imagine that.
And the thing is, you put your mindset. Such a good point that is. You touch on 2 points you made. Your mindset is, I'm going to do a job for the team because we're building to get somewhere. You know what I'm saying? I've not had the best time at United. Really, I want to play on the right wing. His best position's on the right wing for me. He looks tidy there. Do you know what I mean? For me. And and he's thinking, I'll do a job and then you don't get played. So you're like, I've stopped my development as a winger to try and play this false 9 role. Okay, cool. I can play in the middle of the park. He's not a 10. People thought he was a 10. He's not a 10. He's not a 10 for me. Do you know what I mean? You can't do all that in the 10. Yeah, he can do a little bit, drop in and that, but and then you don't get played. So you're annoyed at that point. The exam thing's such a really good point, because if you think about an exam, I'm going to relate this back to me. I was always the kid in school that got, when you get like the 3-part question, it's like the first line you guarantee to get it right. Then the second one is a bit more descriptive, like physics. And then you get the long thing, and it's like you get stuck halfway through. Like if the equation's not equationing, you ain't getting the result out the back end and getting the full marks in it. Yeah. That's kind of where we're at right now. We're doing the first question is the midfield. The second question is, one thing I'll be positive about United is, when we start touching it about and playing out one-touch football, we do look all right at it. I'm not going to lie. We do look okay at times playing out, but it's not consistent enough. So my hope for Ten Hag this season is that we tidy a couple of key positions on the pitch and we build from the foundation of last year. So I hope that he targets 1 or 2 man in the midfield and he goes, right, I need you, and Nagy speaks about this a lot. I need you to be, you're the guy right now, whether that's Ericsson, I don't think he's got the legs for it, whether that's McTominay, Hannibal, whoever it is, I need you to be the intelligent guy. I need you to be the guy that when everyone goes forward and there's a chance that we break, I need you to be in position to kind of play that role and become the 8. Also, up front, I need you guys to interchange. I need one of you guys to realize that when he runs here, you run here. I need one of you guys to know that not shoot and waste possession when we need to hold it up and play back in. So I hope that he can maybe tweak an Anthony and tweak a midfielder and we can progress this season. But from what I'm seeing, there's a lot of stubbornness and there's a lot of sticking in his ways. And I'm telling you right now, it's not going to be a nice watch if this midfield carries on the way it is. Honestly, it's not just the top teams that are going to pace this, bro.
To carry on from what you're saying, for me personally, I just think for me it's a mentality issue. I can blame Ten Hag to a degree in terms of the selection and stuff. Maybe try and think of a way of, okay, he's not doing good. Let me replace him. That's on Ten Hag. But I think just the standards, the basic standards of these players are not there. I think the players is more the players as well. But it's also up to Ten Hag to say, okay, Rashford's not doing well. Let me put Sancho in the middle. Let me go back to my false 9 plan and whatnot. But for me, Mandem, it's the players, man. The players are not at their 100. They're not trying. There's something wrong. There's something going on, man. The mentality is not there. That's what I think.
So what are you saying, Rhino? They revert back to type every single time?
Yeah, that's what I think, man. That's what I think. So now Ten Hag now needs to act on it and be ruthless and say, okay, cool. You know what, Anthony, you're off. Pelestri on. Boom, let me put Sancho in the middle. Let me put Rashford on the left, and let's see. If not, take Rashford off, put Sancho in the middle, and put Garnacho on the left. We need to see him act snappy with it, man. Still.
I do hear you,
and I'm not for Martial. I'm not for Martial. Tyron said Martial. No Martial for me, people. No Martial for me.
That's fair enough. I do the mentality.
Tyrone up front.
I've got up front, to be fair.
Cunha, lads. Cunha, obviously.
Cunha. Yeah, you in there. Yeah, it's true. But I do feel like it's a mentality issue, and I do agree with you, like Rhino. I feel like the way we saw even Rashford's body language, we were talking about it, it filters all the way to the rest of the team, man. And like someone even said to me, like they don't even think Martinez has come back and look right. And someone even said to me, do you think Bruno Fernandes getting the captaincy? Do you think that was even the right? Like after 2 games, do you think that was the right move? And I was kind of like, a bit early to say, but the truth is, I probably wouldn't have wanted him captain, because even when he has his bad games, I feel like what Ten Hag's going to now do is always keep his captain on for 90 minutes, which means Bruno is never going to get subbed. Whereas me, I'm like, you know what, Bruno, if you're having a bad game, you could also come off as well. But that's probably not going to happen. So, yeah, like, what are you, man, thinking about with the mentality of the team? And obviously, Bruno, even I'm not trying to gun Bruno down, by the way, and single him out. But
yeah, of course.
You guys think this can all... Like, it will have a little ricochet.
Tyrone, do you think he's picking his winners out of a bad bunch? So you've got a bowl of fruit in front of you, and most of it's rotten, and you've got one or two. Do you think he's picking Bruno? Who are the winners? Bruno, Martinez, Varane. Is he looking at an 11 and he's going, I got 4 guys here with mindset, and I got 7 without. I need to pick the winners, even though it could be rotten anyway.
I just don't know if Bruno should have been our captain. I'll be honest with you, Leon.
I agree, though.
Maybe, but then people like Hannibal does these things sometimes as well. We need effort and hunger, man. These people are not, I swear to you, these men are not.
You know what,
they're
Rhino,
going back to this stiff Man United. They're going back to the season before when they let us down. And then when we started, we started last season. Ten Hag made them do the running.
Back to them days.
That's what we need to do. Maybe he needs to go on a run with them or something, bruv. These men are going back to these. They're going back to this. They're going back to these. This wash.
What happens? Can I just throw it out there? What happens if we actually lose to Forest on Saturday? Like, we're not even contemplating it. Like,
yeah. Chill, man. Chill.
I know. Panic buys.
All I'm hearing Bruno, that's all I'm hearing, man.
Bro, Bruno, man,
I don't get
step
it, man.
up, bro.
You know,
step
up, questioning certain people's ball knowledge, man. Like I keep telling you,
class Bruno, though, Neji.
We didn't. I didn't actually gun him, Neji. But I just said about like the mentality and with him. Like, do you think it has a ricochet effect on the rest of the players in it?
I don't think he is. I think he's one of the strongest in the team, and I think we don't know what's going on behind closed doors. But you see the way that my man why the team responds to Bruno, their body language, the way they respond to him on and off the pitch.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Yeah, we had a huddle before the game. Yeah.
I've never seen them don't do that huddle.
You seen that. That was embarrassing. It is embarrassing.
We're moving like Arsenal.
Was leading that huddle.
Moving like
Arsenal.
Come on, man. I don't want to see huddles. Everyone perform. That's all I want.
I'll be honest. I'm not going to make a big deal out of a huddle. I can't. I think that's just again.
Okay, fair enough.
You know what I mean? Like that's something you can use for a narrative, just because you don't like the guy. Like I've seen people clipping up Anthony when he does his little thing and then does loses the ball. Yeah. Like it's one of them. It's silly because if that's going to be the trail of thought, then when Ronaldo tried to do that step over and fall on his arse when no one was around him. Do you know what I mean? He would have got slated back then, and if that's what we're doing. So I ain't doing no immature stuff, I'll be honest. But for me, in the end of the day, I'm sitting with a panel who have their doubts about Bruno, and that's not a problem. But I feel like, if we're being honest, you're trying to find anything that goes into that same basket of, I dislike him, or I don't rate him, or give himself a reason. And some of the reasons that you're coming through with, I just can't back. And I'm objective with it. So you know what I mean? I've got to keep it 100, man. End of the day, for me, Bruno, I think he's misunderstood, and I think the biggest part is the fan base misunderstands what Ten Hag wants. It's a case of, we're not keeping the ball. Yes, correct. You're not meant to be keeping the ball. It's fast transaction football. It's fast. It's quick. So you only have one ball carrying 2 8s. And I told you about this about Mason Mount and Bruno. I just think the fan base are struggling to accept what Ten Hag is doing, and it's high risk football for high reward. But people aren't getting on board with it, so now they're coming through going, you know what, we need to start keeping the ball better in midfield, XYZ, and actually missing the whole point of Bruno is allowed to go and start creating the way he does. That's his game, and I don't think people
to the detriment of the team, though. This is the problem.
And then they're pinning it on Bruno as opposed to the manager. I'm watching, and you know me, all my opinions are based on the manager, because my only preference, people, is Manchester United. I only ever speak from a preference of Man United. Anything else, whether for or against, it's irrelevant. So my opinions are always going to be objective. I understand the way the manager's trying to play. Do I agree with it all the time? No, of course not. Shout out to Nedu. I don't agree with it all the time. So we can have them discussions. We can have them discussions. That's not an issue. Do you know what I mean? That's healthy discussions. But I'm looking at what the manager's trying to do, and I'm seeing Bruno do exactly what the manager's trying to do. Therefore, it's not on Bruno. Yes, we can have conversations. Say, can he improve X, Y, Z? Of course, and we can have them conversations. I can listen to them. But to go into the level or get him out of the team, it shows me that you don't know what to know.
No one said that. That's what
I'm not saying
confused.
I'm saying
we have to create a balance.
The fan base, it's mad. So
can I ask you then, Neji, because you're saying high risk, high, and like
I was just going to say this.
You're saying what Ten Hag wants to do, high risk football, stuff like that. It kind of reminds me of Liverpool in their prime when they were doing very good with the high energy. Didn't we have, it was Fabinho, Henderson, whoever, and Ronaldo in midfield. There's not loads of control there, but it was high energy, win the ball back quick, score goals, win maybe 4-2, 4-3, stuff like that. If we can replicate that and do it very well, then cool, like fair play. But it took Klopp a while to get there. And whether now, like Leon said earlier, people have got the patience to accept that or understand that, that's where the fans are going to be divided, which you can probably understand. If we win games, we lose games, it's going to be like that. However, I don't know as a fan, and this is is me as a fan, I don't know if I think we're the type of team that can do that. High risk, high end.
We aren't
the turnover. You know, basically, it's going to be a game of tennis every week. I don't want to see that.
Yeah, but you know what? But Neji, just a quick one, yeah.
Go on.
And no, I think you're right. I know where you're going to go with this, yeah. What do we? If you could add to the end of your point as well, what do you class as the high reward as well? Is it the W winning the games, or is it high amount of goals? Is it like what do you? I'd be interested to hear that from you.
Well, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying here, Leon. Yeah, this is when I say put. This is why I always talk about preferences and being objective. This is why some conversation you have to be objective with, because if you go down the line of preference 24/7, some people won't even notice it. If you go down the line of preference all the time, yeah, you're going to get to a situation where you vex yourself, you get pissed, and then you start putting that emotion onto players rather than actually understanding the situation. If you have understanding of the situation, you can't down to half of these players, and that's my point. And that's why I'm calm. So don't get me wrong. I'll sit here and say to Ty, you know what? I want Bruno to kick the ball a little bit better. I want him to be more clinical in possession at times. Of course, that's fine. You want that, but then what's his main role? It's not to do that.
Therefore, my expectation. What is the reward? What is it for you?
Therefore, my
I know you go around a bit, but be direct, not in a rude way, by the way. So I want
you to answer. No, cool. And that's what I'm saying. So that's where, even though I don't like it, I accept it and I understand it. And if we don't get the win, then cool. And it's like, comes back to my point earlier with the signings that we've made already. I think we've made 3 steps forward, gone 5 steps back, and this is why the balance is not there. And Casemiro's being exposed. So yes, the high risk has been there, and I can prove this because we're still third best creative team in the league, even with the poor performances. So we're still creating chances. Ten Hag's doing his thing, but defensively we're struggling. And what's the difference between, like I said, reviews with Kevin De Bruyne and Bruno in a system? If he makes mistakes, it gets mopped up. We're fine. Because the system's there solid. Ten Hag doesn't have that. Therefore it looks worse.
The thing for me though, Mandem, is the lack of physicality in this midfield for me. It's like Bruno and Mount are so similar in what they do. So if they're so similar, then you've got Casemiro. Listen, man, he's still for me he's that only world-class player. Yeah, he's left on his own and he's exposed. And people that are judging him saying, "Oh, he's lost his legs." Bro, he's having to do a lot.
Yes, that's what it is. It's the work he's having to do. And then by the time he recycles the ball and gives it, we've lost it within 10 seconds. He's basically doing the same thing again, expending his energy. And people think on a 100-yard pitch, you go and put on some shorts and do that, you lot. And then come back to me and tell me that Casemiro's like he's getting exposed and now he's getting asked to do a role that he's never had to do, Saeed, as well. Pick up the ball from the back forward, doing what Cruz and Modric did that for him. He never had to do that, but at 31, he's now got to learn that. So, yeah, Casemiro's getting exposed. He needs help in there because I do think by November, he could be done. And the only reason I say that is out of every position in the squad, Martinez can be rotated and Luke Shaw might play and then Vlasic can come in. Even Casemiro is the only DM we've got. Casemiro plays every single game. We're going to kill him. And I feel sorry for him. And that's all I've got to say.
That's what we need at in time, man. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say. Do you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. I'm still eager for a couple of strikers because, like I said to you, even with the De Gea situation, if we make mistakes, this is anywhere on the pitch, so this is a generic comment now using what I said about De Gea. Even if we make mistakes on the pitch, as long as I know we're bagging goals, I don't mind winning the game 3-1, 3-2, because the more potent we become, the more teams sit off anyway, less that they are future-wise is going to start pressing and counter-attacking because we're more clinical. So they'll subconsciously start dipping off. Whereas at the moment, we're seeing that teams are more confident against us when we lose the ball, and they're happy to press. Do you know what I mean?
And
so
also,
it's a knock-on effect.
And also, I don't want Casemiro doing the regista role, as they call it nowadays. And bro, man can't. Like I think for me, when you look at a player who is press resistant, Casemiro is not press resistant. When he gets exposed in that, when he gets the ball from Onana, bro, Onana's threading that ball. I remember against Wolves, man was threading that ball 100 miles an hour. And I'm like, yo, do you know who Casemiro is? Like, he's not the greatest, like, in terms of press resistant. And people like Mateus Nunes, who is physical, is aggressive, will just bully him off the ball. And I'm like, yo, like, that's where you need an Amrabat to say, right, I can get that ball and I can do it. And people say it's going to be a bit rigid. I understand what you mean in terms of you're getting two similar players, but we need that right now. I generally think sometimes you need to go backwards to go forwards. This midfield needs to go backwards in terms of being solid, defensively astute. We might not score more goals, but I tell you what, our actual play would be more fluid. We might even actually score more goals because then, you know what I mean, we've got the front three having to stay up there because they've got Casemiro and Amrabat behind them. You know, so I always look at the Man United teams of old, and yes, we had high-flying wingers, but you had Scholes and Carrick who just sit there and say, right, you guys go forward. Ronaldo, Rooney, Tevez, and someone else would just go forward and win us the game. And I'm not saying football is like that anymore, but you can have a principle of we've got two that sit and everyone else, they go forward.
Yeah.
And you can see with Arsenal, Odegaard, Martinelli up front, and then you got Saka and Rice and Partey eventually, by the way, when the system corrects. They will sit down and they'll just relax.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying, guys.
That's why Amrabat's such a key signing for us, because he gives Casemiro even more confidence, and he's just tidy with the ball. We've all seen him at Fiorentina a little bit, and Morocco. He's not the most glamorous guy that's going to skip through four players and blah 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 blah, but he's so tidy and just mature. That's the word I'm looking for. Mature with the ball. Do you know what I'm saying? I want to pick up another point of what Neji was saying. I'm coming for you today, bro. Don't matter if you're out of the country. I'm coming for you, bro. Nah, joking. No. I just on the high risk, high reward. I get what you're saying, Neji. Basically, your future thinking kind of what Ten Hag's thinking right now, and you're thinking like he's trying to create a system whereby the strikers score more goals. Like the fact that we've created third amount of chances in the league this season, is that what you said? Yeah, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. But I know you said like we've got defensively thingy. I kind of would push back on that and say I disagree a little bit, because I would say like I feel like offensively we've got worse. Like I feel like we have or am I speaking too soon? Tell me,
I'd agree with you. I think, and again, you have to correct me if I'm wrong because it's your opinion, but if I'm right with the understanding, that we look worse going forward than we did last season.
We just look like...
I would put that down to a lack of balance, in my opinion, because the way in which we're playing is slightly different from last season because of the keeper situation, right? Onana's now missing out most of the back line 24/7. We even saw in the first game at Wolves, Martinez was like, oh shit, I need to be higher up the pitch now because Onana's taking that role. So there's a massive adaptations. The ball's going wider rather than through the midfield now, and then we're cutting it through the midfield. Casemiro is exposed. So there's a lot going on the pitch that I'm seeing that is different from last season. However, we're trying similar things. And this is the transition phase. This is why I said, Leon, I feel like we've gone three forward, 5 steps back, as opposed to just going the one step forward, keeping what we had last season, keep the balance of that, because that was good for creating of chances, get the strikers in, and then build slowly. That was it. So I do agree with you. We don't look as good going forward. But again, chances are we're still able to create, and that says a lot for me personally in 2 games, and we're not looking great defensively, of course.
So Neji, can I ask you something?
I'm just not. Go on, King.
Was last year under Ten Hag and everything he was trying to do, was it a waste then?
I don't think it was a waste.
Do you think a lot of what Ten Hag done last year was a waste? Because now we're changing basically a lot of the stuff we're doing now.
No, I understand the trail of thought, but I don't think the change is too drastic. I just think when you've added 2 different profiles, that is in terms of a Mountain and Onana, they're quite specific profiles for the system. We didn't have that, so I don't think it's been a waste. I just think it's been a big change, and I didn't think people would expect the knock-on effect. Go on, Saeed.
I've got a better question now. Have Man United used their head start wisely as well? Because when you look at Chelsea and Liverpool, we were ahead of them. And yes, it was third. And I don't think Ten Hag should be discredited finishing third and reaching a cup. I'm sorry, reaching a cup final and obviously winning the Carabao Cup. But the thing is, though, City and Liverpool, it was an anomaly season. Sorry, Liverpool and Chelsea, it was an anomaly season. They were going to get back. And now it's like everyone's getting stronger now. And sometimes I feel like your style of play is your foundation. So I feel like the lack of our probably foundation maybe has now got to the point now where everyone's feeling a bit confused as to where United will finish. I still predict Man United to finish third, but it could be as low as 6 because again, you don't know what sort of season Man United could have.
I rate that, to be
it's
fair.
literally like
I rate the outlook, and I think that's the thing. Like, we're now in the biggest part of an imbalance. Do you know when you go gym, yeah? When you go gym and you start the gym, you build your foundation, you're like 3 months into it, you're strong, but then you start trying something different and you feel like you're rock bottom again. You think, bro, what's going on? That's where Man United are at the moment, and you forget about the progress. And when you, like I said, when you make 2 big changes to the system, as in Onana, because again, De Gea and Onana are completely different profiles, and the way we're playing football, most of the game that we're playing is going to be different from last season. That different doesn't mean better or worse. It just means it's different. So that's another adaptation. They've also got players like those Mason Mount and Onana who've got to adapt themselves. So when there's a lot of change, a lot of people start to panic because they feel like they're going nowhere. They feel like they're scrambling. But the change has to happen. At some point, there has to be a switch. And I think that's where we're at. That's why I'm not so reactionary. That's why I'm so not in my feelings. Yes, I'm pissed. I share everyone's frustration with the game and stuff. I do. Don't get me wrong. Do you know what I mean? I'm on that board. Do you know what I mean? I've screw-faced when when the goal went in for the second one, Martez. I was screw-facing. Do you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong.
Bro.
But put my emotion to one side. I'm looking at it, the bigger picture and the logics of the situation.
Yeah, it's very early as well.
Don't get me wrong. We can criticize, but I'm not trying to over-criticize something just because I feel the type of
there
way.
shouldn't be a case of Ten Hag out. Yeah. For me, it's too early to be shouting Ten Hag out. You know, a manager has to struggle. You know what I mean? Every manager needs time to struggle and find his ways. Obviously, you know, you said it before, Leon. There's sometimes not a time for managers to struggle now because everything's results based. I think for me, when the players don't buy into his philosophy, and when the players don't start to run around and show a bit of effort and desire, and then he starts seeing leaks come out. That's when for me,
bro. Literally, just do the fundamentals. You know, when Ten Hag talks about his rules and the fundamentals, they're not doing that. That's what the problem is. Once they adjust and people like Mount come to collect and people start filling spaces, just the basics. Mentality and the basics of, okay, you know what? Casemiro's by himself. Let me come and cover. You go up front. Just the position of the players and the basics.
Simple.
That's it, man.
This is why some of these conversations, we shouldn't even be having. In my opinion, I'm thinking at least minimum wait 10 games in before we start going in on system and play
even till Christmas.
Do you know what I mean? That's me. So I'm quite shocked that the fan base is so heated. Well, to be fair, I'm not shocked regarding Twitter fans, but globally, do you know what I mean? Outside of social media, like I'm quite shocked that it's this bad, and I think that's just basically the fans expressing their feelings because of what they're seeing and they're worried, as opposed to actually critically thinking and going, oh, you know what? I can see what I'm going. Yeah, I'm pissed, but I think it's based on worry and fear as opposed to actually critically breaking it down of what's actually going on the pitch. So I think Ten Hag's got it, man. As long as we get points within the first 5 games and you're up there and you start to build. 10 games in, come back to me, we have this conversation. I can start talking about,
you know what?
Okay, a win against Mason that.
Yeah. A win against Newcastle, a win against Nottingham Forest, and I think for me, a respectable draw against Arsenal. I think that's where I think, you know, we go into international break and be like, you know what? Okay, we've lost that game, but you know what? A draw, 1 there. So it's not bad. 1 loss, 2 wins, and a draw. You know what I mean? Again, it's not the greatest, but I think for me, it's not better than losing against Arsenal and winning against Nottingham Forest, because I don't think it does anything. Winning against Nottingham Forest and you lose against Arsenal, it doesn't do anything for me. Ledu says here, why aren't we going for Manifest Nunez? Wolves need to get that money. We can get him. I hope Ten Hag doesn't truly believe this team is good enough. And I've been on about Nunez this sport. Yeah, to be fair, you have. But again, Ten Hag's got a specific talent ID. It's Amrabat and it's going to be Gravenburch. Oh, we might get another Sabitzer. I don't know. Who's a wild shout? Tyrone, have you got a wild shout that the manager might go for? Because last season, we didn't think Sabitzer would come in. So is it another one that you think a wild shout could be? Like, Because you never know, man, in this transfer window. Everyone gets desperate. And then it becomes players who are not playing for their teams currently. You know what I mean? Like, bro, I'm telling you now, man, it could be like a Sabitzer signing again. You never know. What do you reckon, Tyrone? I'm asking you.
I don't actually have one off the top of my head, you know.
Goretzka.
Goretzka. You know what? That's a good shout, you know. Goretzka.
I'm just thinking if he would be.
Is my connection gone, Saeed?
No, you can't.
No, you're back. You're back now. You're back.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
Oh,
I have no clue. The fact that, well, basically, in my head, the fact that Wolves are looking at Nunes and that's not someone that we're showing interest in even, it just annoys me.
Can I ask a question as well on AG's point, right? So we're going back to because there's within this United thing, there's positives and negatives at the same time. Yeah, I like how he's just frozen. What he's looking at? What do you think he's looking at? Man.
No idea. He's
yeah,
probably looking
the way
at
that's paused is joke.
He looks happy though, isn't he? He looks happy.
Yeah.
He's looking at the sunshine.
He's thinking Ten Hag.
Kakare for me, man.
Grace. I've been calling for Kakare for over a year.
You have?
He ain't getting him.
Oh yeah, he's a G. He's a G.
Let's look at him, Kakare. I'm gonna put a little
just a quick one, yeah. Just on this point. Do you know like the chances created, yeah? Do you think, and I'll pose this to you lot to answer, yeah? Do you think that obviously we've all established a few weeks ago we need to score more goals this season? That was a key thing that all of us were kind of like, we need to capitalize, score more goals, and give us the opportunity to get more points with those goals, yeah? Mandem, do you lot think that it depends on how stubborn he is with the front three? Because I remember you were talking about this before, Saeed, yeah? Like, if he just plays... Is it Kakare, is it?
Yeah, I love
it. This is Kakare.
He's my new variety, man.
Never look at him for answer this.
He's so tidy, man. Oh, he's so good.
This is him. Very tidy in the ball, but he's also a ball
Very
winner.
mature.
Oh, he's a ball winner and he's so tidy on it, and he's nimble. He can run.
So tidy, he's nimble as well.
Then again, our team's already small, though. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what is
I would have signed him. If it was me, I would have signed him this window.
Him and Amrabat.
And then I would have got like an Amrabat or even a Gravenburch or whatever, because he could sit next to Casemiro and play them passes, and then we've got an energy box to box. Like, yeah, we just don't profile the right players.
Yeah,
like,
I was going to say
one someone that's physical as well. One ball carrier, one someone that's physical. That's what for me.
Someone's calm on the ball and one physical.
I was going to touch on AG's point because it doesn't seem like we like all of us like it sounds like we prefer ballers who can hold the ball, mature, and command the game a bit more. But I think we're quite a while away from that. I'll be honest with you. Unless we get an Amrabat who patches that up, I don't think our team is going to be like that. Like, we're not a City or an Arsenal. We don't play like Arsenal or City. That's just, we're not going to be playing like that for a little while, at least another season. Yeah. So like we've identified that, like, obviously we create third amount of chances in the league. That means that our forwards need to produce more. Yeah. Do you think that the success of the season depends on which front three that he plays and how he gets them interchanging? Do you think that if he plays Garnacho, he plays Rashford, and he plays Anthony, that we're in trouble because they're very selfish? And do you think that he needs to swap and change? He needs to have them. What do you think?
Well, Leon, his main striker is going to be back in 2 weeks. We need to all see what Højlund can do once he adjusts to the system. It's kind of like the unknown factor. He is going to be playing. He's going to be 65 million in total. He's his number 9. He sees him as his like future guy. He's going to play him. It's simple as that. So once the international break's done, I think Højlund starts that first game after the international break, and he is the number 9. And then we'll have to see what players go with him, because he's going to have to build a system around a fit number 9, and that's going to be Højlund. I don't think we'll see Rashford there. We won't see Sancho there. We're just, at the moment, obviously Martial's not going to be there as much as I'd like to see it for now until Højlund comes, but it is going to be Højlund. He's going to be that guy.
Yeah,
this is sad.
Apparently he's training on his own as well. He's waiting around, man. You know what I'm saying to you? Like, it's crazy, bro. Like, I don't understand it, man. He's right there, 25 million. And yet you still don't want to go in for him.
The board don't want to pay 30 for him, but we're quick to pay 80 for Maguire. Yeah, all right.
Do you know what this is like? This is like coming out of a nightclub, and the gal's there, and she said, like, nice looking gal, whatever, and she's like, yo, I want to come home with you, Rara. And you're like, yeah, man, man's just gonna go to McDonald's and casino for a bit, innit? Do you know what I mean? And she's just there, stood about. Do you know what I'm saying? Just like Rara. Then you're like, oh yeah, do you know what I'm saying? She just stood about.
And
then you're like, yeah, man's gonna go to the next club still.
She's come back. She's come back and she's been swooped.
Wait there, you know.
What frustrates me, Mandem, is just the lack of eagerness from just, okay, you want that player, let's go and get him. Boom, here we go. Like, even just how long the deals take, it's just lackluster. The way the team plays is how the management's been playing when it comes to negotiations, bro. I just don't understand. There's no, like, Chelsea will get rid of players, bring them in quick, no long thing. You saw Liverpool when they went for Endo. The here we go, just came out of the blue, boom, quick, boom. You feel me? So if we're going down to what we have, the mentality, Mandem, for me, I'm just gonna stick to this mentality thing, bro. And
by the way, Mandem, yeah,
go on, side.
Big shout, yeah. I don't know if you've seen it, but Ben Zimmer is apparently falling out with his manager or something like that, man. Would you man take Ben Zimmer for a year?
What, to be the guy and then Højlund comes in off the back of him?
Like him and Højlund to lead as a line, Ben Zimmer and Højlund.
So Højlund comes
Because apparently,
on the right or something.
The manager, Wolves, the former Wolves manager, apparently, I've just seen it before on Twitter, and it's not thinking that he's part of his style of play in that regards. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, for me, I look at his injury record and I'd be like, it's a no-go. But then again, it's like, it's desperate situations, isn't it?
The wages would be disgusting. The wages would be
disgusting.
Oh,
people say, why not? Okay, but hey, Nuno Espirito Santos reportedly informed the Al Ittihad board that Karim Benzema does not fit his style tactically. He wasn't keen on the signing and Ballon d'Or win in the first place, which is leading to tension between the two men. The Portuguese also rejected Benzema's request for the captain armband. Therefore, the Frenchman is not comfortable working in the current environment at Saudi club, perhaps open the door of another shock transfer.
How old is he?
I think the manager goes before Benzema goes because of the fact that, listen, man, this is a player that's, he's a top class player, man. They don't lose him rather than manager. The manager goes first, mate. You fit him in. Even though they won the title last year, you fit him in, mate. That's Benzema right there. So, hold that, man. You know what I'm saying?
Look at the
bro.
intro they gave him, Saeed. You can't give him an intro like that. It was like a World Cup opening performance, and then you let man go. Rhino, I think he's 36. Man, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. 36.
No, he's 35. Is he not 35?
35.
Choice 35. Yeah, 35.
I mean, look. Would he come to United and make a difference? Of course he would right now. Come on, he would. You know what I mean? So even like people's fear of him playing against him and stuff like that. But I think we need to move away from things like that. I think we need
to same.
I think we need to be smarter with our money. Like let's be honest, yeah. You found Malacia Ten Hag. So go find us a midfielder who we don't know, yeah, who's cheap, yeah, and someone that could maybe look at Casemiro's spot and be like, or look at Mount's spot and be like, I'm young, I'm hungry, I'm taking his position in 2 years. So when I get my chance on the pitch, yeah, I'm going to perform. Or somebody that can play up front again, like Ten Hag, you can do it. 10, 20 mil, euros, even that, you can do it. Do you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm always talking from the position of a club that is structurally run right.
Yeah.
So.
Forest have signed Montiel, World Cup winner Montiel, people. So if you don't know him, World Cup winner Montiel. Do you guys know him? World Cup winner Montiel?
Yeah, he's got the penalty.
He's a striker.
Penalty, yeah.
Right back.
No, he's a right back. Right back.
Let me have a look, Montiel.
So yeah, that's
who did he play for before?
Sevilla. So
yeah.
More towards the end of his career. It's not exciting, if I'm honest.
Yeah. He's 26, bro.
I know, but I feel like the way he plays, like he's not been ever a main starter like these teams, if I'm totally honest with you.
Yeah.
He went back to Argentina for a bit as well, and I think he was at Boca Juniors or one of the Argentinian teams.
He didn't really work out, man. He did well against us, man. That's all I know, man. Any Sevilla plays, them man always do against us. So listen, hopefully Aurier plays, and hopefully Rashford goes on Aurier's side and he actually beats him for pace. Because I could see Aurier getting bullied by him. But if Garnacho's there, you see what happened with Semedo. Semedo bullied Garnacho, man. Come on, man. Let's do it, man.
Yeah, but who we need?
Mentality, man.
Mandem, do you know who we need? Yeah. Do you know who always does a good job? We need Ashley Barnes.
Listen, yeah, it's time to log off the stream, guys. But yeah, Onana's going to the AFCON. Do you guys know about it? He's going to the AFCON. He's back. Apparently, he wants to get back to the. But hey,
when is AFCON?
You know,
what's that? January then?
January for a whole month. It obviously, unless they get. Yeah. Oh, we got some news about Amrabat. Oh, we got some breaking news about Amrabat. So that's good.
Run it up. Okay, that sounds positive then.
Positive. Well, I don't know if it's positive, man. I just seen some Amrabat news.
You went, that's good.
Let me,
Just like it.
yeah, let me get this in because I was literally going to wrap up, but now I want to see what he's saying.
News on Amrabat.
It's what we've seen. It's what we've seen before. It says here, Amrabat is training on his own. He won't travel us for the next game. On Brentford, new bid for Luca Gonzalez. He's a key player for us. These moves are normal, but Nico will stay here at Fiorentina. Listen, man.
What's stopping this process? Like,
what's stopping this?
Saeed, how much is the fee? Like what do you guys know? How much?
Well, it's 30 million, man.
Like
30 million,
mil.
like 30 million.
What, euros?
Like something.
Yeah,
But,
apparently.
no, I think it'll be 30 million.
Or is it pounds?
Bang on.
About 30
Bang on,
mil,
30 million.
come on.
Bro,
Like, we got 15 for Fred.
Million.
And then who else went?
Well,
I swear,
Fred, by the way. You see that goal that he nearly scored?
I haven't even seen it. What, is Fred moving mad now?
Bro, Fred's moving mad. Yeah, yeah, but yo, man, like 30 million, man.
I don't get
That's breadcrumbs, man. Come on, man. Get it done.
You know the thing as well, yeah?
You know what's crazy? Yeah? I'll be real with you. This is a little exclusive yesterday, yeah? So basically, there was this Moroccan freestyler that followed me, yeah? On Instagram yesterday. And I was like, okay, let me see what this guy's saying. Then I seen it, yeah? He's friends with Sofiane Amrabat. So guess what I said to him? This is what I said to him, yeah? This is funny. Let me see what I said to him. So I said to him, yeah, yo, what's going on, man? I see you follow Amrabat. And he went, brother, in like, the Moroccan kind of style. I said, we need to know Aki. And he goes, what? What do you mean you need to know? I said, is Amrabat coming Man United? He goes, I can't tell, bro. That's what he said. And then that's all he kind of left it as yesterday.
He's waiting.
7 days, man.
You know what I mean? He didn't deny it, or he didn't confirm it. So let's see what happens with that. And
you know what? Just a quick one, yeah. Do you know what's bad? Yeah, with the way that we carry on with these transfers. I know the owners don't give a shit. Like, I'll be honest, they don't care, so they're not bothered. We're always signing players on the wrong foot. Because imagine you've had all the negotiations and then you finally get here. You're gonna be like, oh, I'm here, but it wasn't great getting here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
simple.
Yeah, true. Very true.
So let's see, man. I'm gonna press him again. I'm gonna put that picture of Fabrizio Romano, his tweet, man. I'm gonna be like, yo, listen, man. What are you saying, man? Do you not see that, man? Is he feeling all right? You get me? So,
Saeed, what's the news on this whole rumor of this October? Obviously, it's coming from a dumb source. Yeah, not entertaining. Yeah.
Don't.
I'm numb to that now. I swear to you. I thought maybe you had the drop or something.
When I hear Tyrone message me, that's when I'm gonna know. Tyrone messages me, and that's when you know, because Tyrone is the guy. But Tyrone, we're gonna wrap up here, man. It's been a good stream. We ran over time, but you know what? Sometimes the Mandem talk gets a bit too much.
Brilliant, man. Big up Leon as well, say, man. Great addition, man.
Leon,
great like a glove, man. So yeah, big up. Rhino every single time. You know what time it is, man. Love every time. And obviously when Moose is here, and obviously Neji, and that, of course, show love to them. But like the video, people, it costs nothing. I always say it on my Never a Foul channel. Yeah, make sure you smash the likes. It helps us reach, wider audiences as well, and get Saeed show everywhere, man. So make sure you like the video, subscribe. And then for my stuff, Trafford Tunnel for Man United, which I brought back this week. And then Never a Foul, as well as our generic football stuff. So hopefully, obviously, if it's down below, just drop it a little subscribe. But big up everyone, man.
Come on. That's all it is, people, man. Just subscribe. Follow everyone's channels, man. Because at the end of the day, it's about the community. We are a community here. We want everyone to grow, man. So please make sure you follow everyone. Links in the description. Leon, it's been a big one, man. Love for coming on as usual, man.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, man. I feel blessed, man. I came in quite tired from being on a motorway and blah, blah, blah. But I just get pumped up with the Mandem chat. Do you know what I mean? So,
oh, come on,
it's
man.
Nice to see. You know what? It's nice to see. It's nice to see all of you lot winning in life and living and doing what you love in it. Do you know what I mean? That for me, that's a big one for me. So I'm blessed to be here, man. Every episode, I'm enjoying it, and I think it's time for us to be a bit patient, because I can't really judge the season till like maybe Christmas, New Year, end of the season. But just got to go through the pain, man. Saeed, you know what it is? Because you put out you're very like reactionary with your content and stuff, and I feel what you feel. I just come on the roller coaster with you. Do you know when you buy the sign outside the thing and there's been a bad result? I'm there, like, and I'm like, do you know what I mean? But Man United in it, so thank you, man.
That's it, man. It's a roller coaster journey, man. That's what it's about, people, man. Rhino, bless up as well for coming on, my guy.
Yeah, man. Nah, bless for having me as always, man. Big up Leon, man. Good addition, like Ty said. Ty always big up, man. Neji, Musa, the Mandem. I love the Mandem talk. You just get to chill, just chat about what's going on, and just vent. So I love it, man. So big up the chat as always, guys, man. I can see 570. I don't know if I'm up to date with the likes, but you guys, please like the video, follow our channels as well. You can find me on Rhino NGTV and support
on, make
Saeed,
sure you
man.
do
Like
that.
the video, man. Come on, what? There's just under 1,000 people in there. Come on, man. So big up, big up everyone, man. Big up, man.
Nah, appreciate the love, people, man. Like I said, man, you guys support the channel. You guys support the Mandem. And this has been the latest edition of the Mandem Talk. We'll see you next time. Peace.